Hi moms and dads. Today we're going to talk about triggers. And triggers are something that if you know they're coming up and you know that they normally, these are events that normally cause you some disturbance in your spirit and your soul or make you feel sad or especially miss your kids. They're things that if you know they're coming up, you could prepare for them. So whenever I talk about triggers, I'm going to be talking about kind of preparing for and bracing for your triggers. Part of the reason we're trying to do a holiday party is because we know that holiday time is a time of year for alienated parents to feel especially sad when they're going to family events and friends events and everyone has their kids with them, and it's a time of year that people do focus on their family, and we're without our kids, and so that can be a real difficult time. So holiday time can be a trigger, and that's why I'm trying to organize a nationwide holiday party for alienated parents. Unfortunately, not too many people are responding to even the poll about whether we should have it several regional parties on the same day or one big event that everyone can travel to. So that got me thinking about triggers. People try to avoid them. People try to avoid even thinking about the holidays until they've come and they're sad. And people post a lot about being sad around the holidays, and then the holidays come and go and they feel terrible. So planning for your triggers is really important, and so that's what I wanted to talk about. And I really didn't intend to talk about the holidays as a trigger, but two other triggers, and one of them is illness. When you become ill, you can't control that because you don't really see it coming, but that's a time when you can start to feel lonely and feel sorry for yourself. And then birthdays, your own birthday, you can feel really sad if it's coming up and your kids don't acknowledge it. And the whole reason for this video is kind of inspired by a parental alienation dad who really just wanted to give up after his birthday and just sell everything and go underground, I guess. But that can happen, so we have to plan, and we have to plan for our triggers. So obviously illness is one that you can't plan for, and so you just have to try to be strong and remain strong and get through your illnesses. But your birthdays you can plan for, and you can plan to really keep your expectations super low. Don't expect to get phone calls from your alienated children or even anyone else. And then the ones that you do get, since you weren't expecting them, should be a blessing. So keep your expectations super low on your birthday. That is the key to happiness on your birthday. Low expectations, okay? So try to do that. Try to keep your expectations really low for your birthdays, because that's a trigger time for alienated parents. The other thing that I wanted to say was that holiday time, as I said, was really not the intention of this video. But if you want to try to prepare for the holidays, again, keeping your expectations really low, but we can have an opportunity if we get the participation for, a nice event to meet each other, say hello, have a happy time, have something to look forward to, go to a place where people don't have their children, so you don't have to worry about that. So keep that in mind, plan for your triggers. And the other trigger along the lines of birthdays, because I really did want to keep this trigger video toward birthdays and illnesses. But the other birthday trigger is the birthday of your children. So when your children's birthdays come up, I know for me it was hard to not have an opportunity to say happy birthday to my own kids or even send them a card. I was still am completely access blocked, so I can't write them, I can't text them. They don't want to hear from me anyway, even if I could. But we have a place online called Letters and Happy Birthdays to Lost Children. So anytime that you feel you want to express love to your kids, you can just go onto the Facebook group called Letters and Happy Birthdays to Lost Children and send them a note. This is not a place where you vent about court or your ex or your rights or anything like that. It's just a place to write love. And so if your children's birthdays are a trigger, then what you can do is you can at least have a place to go and write love. Now, granted, we know they probably won't read it, but it does bring solace to other parents to read, and for them to know what, what they're going through is not in a vacuum and that other people feel it. And hopefully some child may someday stumble upon that page and may read what you've written to your child, and it might inspire them to reunite with their own family. So you never know, you never know where these things can go. But it does give you an outlet to express love on your child's birthday, a place to say happy birthday to your kids. And it's a safe place, and we don't allow any arguments or anything like that on that page. So, so those are just some ideas about triggers. But the main thing is plan for your triggers. It's like if you're driving down the road and you see an obstacle coming, what do? You either steer the car away from it or you put on your brakes, right? But either way, it takes some action, because if you don't do anything, you're going to collide with the obstacle in the roadway. Well, it's the same thing with the triggers. If you know they're coming, like let's say your birthday's coming up and you know that's a trigger for your own loneliness and sadness, then you have to do something. And one thing is keep your expectations really low. And the other thing is to actually do something even more actionable, like plan to go on a hike that day, or plan to take yourself on a drive to the beach or to the mountains, or even better yet, plan to do some volunteer work on that day, because volunteer work really does feed your soul. It really is blessed, more blessed to give than to receive. So when you're feeling really low, giving to other people is actually a way to pull yourself up too. So when your birthday's coming, keep your expectations really low, and plan to do something for yourself or for others. And that's one way to take care of that particular trigger. So thanks for listening, moms and dads, to this little bit of advice from Parental Alienation Survival Coach.